Hi, I am the Review Man. And how's it going, everybody? Today I am back with my first video of the year. Actually, I think Bird Box was my first video. But anyway, if y'all guys haven't, Netflix released at the start of the new year their first release, which was the Series of Unfortunate Events Season 3. And today I am going to talk about all of Count Olaf's disguises from worst to best. So without further ado, if you haven't seen the third season of Series of Unfortunate Events yet, look away, look away, look away. Because if you haven't, I'm going to be spoiling some stuff that has been happening in the third season, as well as some of Count Olaf's disguises. Now, first of all, the worst Count Olaf's disguise was when he disguised himself as Kit Snicket. When there was a pregnant Kit Snicket, like not even a mile in front of them, what he had as his part of this disguise was like some seaweed, like some drape stuff, like draped all over him. And he acted like he was pregnant by having like this helmet tank, which had like a deadly spore virus in it. And nobody, not even himself, bought this disguise. I mean, Count Olaf pretty much went from locked in a cage to trying to figure out how to get this disguise to work, how to figure out something to work. But in the end of this episode, he ends up dying trying to save Kit because he was shot in the gut in the stomach by a harpoon by this guy that started the VFD that knew all about Count Olaf in the first place. So that was his Kit Snicket disguise. Now my next disguise that I want to talk about is Jessica Helicott. And this is pretty much Count Olaf's like real first disguise in the movie, in this show. This is going back to this first season. Whenever he was at Mr. Poe's office, Mr. Poe is like this banker that's in charge of orphan affairs, and Olaf just wants to know about Baudelaire's fortune, or as he says throughout the entire series, the fortune. And he says that every time he says fortune. And if you guys don't know, Count Olaf is played by the talented Neil Patrick Harris. Now, I'm going to do a video later. Breaking down the Count Olaf Jim Carrey one and the Count Olaf Neil Patrick Harris. But anyway, this was his disguise video as part of the show. So anyway, Jessica Haircut, or Jessica Haircut, is it's just the most absurd made-up name. Haircut because Count Olaf sees that Mr. Poe has a haircut appointment. And he just had to make that up in like 2 seconds. And Mr. Poe, being the idiot that he is, he buys his disguise like in 2 seconds. But oh yeah, and I should also say that the Baudelaires, the kids that are in this show, kids/teenagers that are in this show, because yeah. So anyway, they don't see through. They see through all of Count Olaf's disguises. And so Jessica Haircut, that was just terrible. It was probably worse than the Kit Snicket disguise. So, oh yeah, Kit Snicket is also Count Olaf's love interest throughout the entire series, but that's revealed to like a series of flashbacks and all this other stuff. Okay, next we have Count Olaf. This was his disguise in the Coniferous Carnival. Count Olaf goes to this carnival to try to figure out where members of the VFD, the Volunteer Fire Department, he hears out one of them are still alive, and he's thinking that it's one of the Baudelaire's parents that are still alive, and he's trying to kill off each member to try to keep the fortune. And yeah, he's disguised as this ringleader that kills this librarian that's been following them ever since they went to Proof Rock Prep. Proof Rock Prep is this school, but that's part of one of Count Olaf's next disguises. But anyway, So, let's see. Yeah, Count Olaf, he just pretty much blends in with the carnival thing because his name's, he said, "Who are you? My name is Count Olaf, but not the one involved with these many fires and arsons and all this other stuff." And so he pretty much gathers, he pretty much gathers his theater troupe, and he pretty much gathers the circus freaks. And there are some pretty cool people. You got a contortionist, you got a guy that's a absolutionist, or he, somebody that can write with two hands. Aberrationist, abortionist, something like that. And then you got a guy with a hump on his back. And these are freaks. And Count Olaf has this wonderful song called "Welcome, Welcome, Welcome to the House of Freaks." One of my favorite songs in this entire episode, in this entire series. And so Count Olaf, it's just a bad disguise because all the people are just that easily fooled by it. I mean, this thing is just bad. Okay, my next disguise for Count Olaf is Detective Duping. Detective Duping is a guy that talks like, "Hey, all you scat, hey cats, I figured the Baudelaires are guilty, yeah, scat." He's just a guy that talks like he's like he's a 70s, 60s detective, like talking about, "Hey, all you kids, hey." And he pretty much has the town fooled by saying that the Baudelaires murdered Jacques Snicket, when it was actually Count Olaf that's doing all these crimes. And he pretty much locks him in jail. And the thing that's so bad about this is that the way he's scatting in, yeah. And then Count Olaf sets up like this jail, locks the Baudelaires in jail, and they pretty much come to this town looking for their friends, the Quagmires, Isidore, Quigley, and they had a brother named Duncan. No, it was Isidore and Duncan. They got a brother named Quigley, but they think he disappeared in a fire. But you find out in another episode that Duncan, the third Quagmire triplet, is still alive. There's a lot of triplets in this movie. There's a lot of triplets in this show. There's the two. Anyway, I'll get into that. I'll get into that later. But anyway, so yeah, this disguise is just bad. Just for that plain and simple fact that the 60s/70s jazz theme, it was just too much because, "Hey, all you scats and kitty cats and ho ho ho." Okay, my next disguise that for Count Olaf is Metaphysis Medical School. Now, Metaphysis Medical School was Count Olaf's disguise whenever he tracked the Baudelaires to the hospital. And what makes this disguise good / bad is that he tries to kill Violet Baudelaire while disguised. He tries to get Klaus to try to kill Violet because Klaus is disguised as Klaus and Sonny are disguised as Klaus and Sonny are disguised as his doctor. And he's like, "Hey, doctor." He pretty much tried to set Klaus and Sonny up for the murder of their sister, because Count Olaf only needs like one Baudelaire to get their fortune. I mean, it's kind of silly that the whole thing was about this fortune, and in the end, he just dies. Oh, I'm skipping ahead of myself. So anyway, that Metaphysis Medical School. The way that he gets control of the hospital is that he like tortures this like schizophrenic nurse he tortures this nurse. He like tortures her and like gets rid of her. And the reason that they're at the hospital is to get this film that to get this film that's trying to see which Baudelaire or which member of the BFD is still alive. And now, the good thing I do like about this episode is that David Allen Greer plays the guy that's in charge of doing That's the guy that's in charge of doing the records and stuff. He is pretty good in this episode. He wears like three or four bifocals. Yeah. So anyway, that was Metaphysis Medical School. And my next disguise for Count Olaf is Shirley, the receptionist at the pine mill. Now what she does is she hypnotizes Klaus to try to get him to try to set him up for murder, and it tries to kill and all through this episode they're trying to figure out what Count Olaf's motive is, and and he hypnotizes Klaus. And so what's going on is he hypnotizes them to do all this dangerous work that kids shouldn't be able to do. And they find out that the reason that this town hates them was because they've been hypnotized by the optometrist to hate the Baudelaires. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Count Olaf's disguise in this movie. Count Olaf's disguise is Shirley, the receptionist. Now, this is the only time in the entire episode that you will see not David Allen Greer, Neil Patrick Harris in a dress. The only time. Other besides that, try to do the kid snicket thing. But this is the only time that you would see him in a dress. And it's a pretty believable disguise at first, but that's only because people haven't been keeping up with the series. So, yeah, Shirley the receptionist is like one of the 3 disguises that he can actually pull off that actually pull somebody. And then the next one, we're almost done here, guys. The next one is Captain Sham. Captain Julio Sham. It kind of comes up to whenever they stay with their aunt and the Grim. Was that the Grim Grotto? No, wait, that was the Wide Window. Whenever they go to stay with their Aunt Josephine in the Wide Window. Aunt Josephine is like this very schizophrenic polar person that's like, don't touch that door, it'll explode. Don't go near the window, it'll fall out. And now she's very grammar oriented. But anyway, Count Olaf's disguise in this one is Julio Sham. He ends up killing her, and he ends up killing Aunt Josephine these leeches, Lachrymose leeches. And they'll only attack you if you had something to eat or if you got some kind of food on you within the past hour, I believe. But so he pretty much goes to feed her a fried egg sandwich. Now, fried egg is high in cholesterol, and this is where you find out that the Baudelaires are allergic to peppermints. And so anyway, Julio Sham is one of the best disguises that he's ever pulled off. And I think I'm covering it. Oh yeah, we got Coach. Next we got Stefano. Stefano is this herbologist. No, not herbologist. Yeah, herbologist. Herbologist and something that studies reptiles. And he comes as to an aid of the Uncle Monty. Uncle Monty. He claims, and Count Olaf tries to. He's got like this long beard and glasses, and he's bald. So he's trying to picture like this with glasses. Okay, he tries to kill Uncle Monty by saying the incredibly deadly viper did it. And the incredibly deadly viper is this long snake, one of the nicest creatures that you ever want to meet. And the incredibly deadly viper disappears at the end of this episode, and he comes back at like the last part of the last episode called The End. So anyway, yeah, this is Stefano is like one of the best disguises that Count Olaf has ever done. And just for that plain and simple fact that Uncle Monty thinks that Stefano is from the department of like reptiles and amphibians. But Count Olaf's like, really, you don't recognize me? He's even talking in his Count Olaf voice. Sorry, didn't want a sore throat. But anyway, my last disguise is is Coach Kangas. Coach Kangas is one of the pretty much best disguises. He kind of looks like Carmack, one of Johnny Carson's people on Johnny Carson's character. And then he's also dealing with a beard and a few other things. But anyway, the reason I picked this as my number one disguise is because he runs the Baudelaires, one of the Baudelaires in circles, and he pretty much tires them out. That way they can drop out of school, and Count Olaf can have them as their so he can get his hands on their fortune. Again, he puts up all these disguises just to get the Baudelaires, just to kill their relatives for their fortune. This is one greedy dude. So he does all these disguises for this fortune. So anyway, yeah, that was my video on Count Olaf's disguises. I hope you guys enjoy, and take a look at Season 3. Now, they're not going to do a Season 4 because they ran out of books. Unless they do like a, kind of like behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, if they do like a book, like based upon the other book series, they might do that, I don't know. So yeah, anyway guys, I'm the Review Man, you are you, thank you for watching, and be on the look for Count Olaf. He might be anywhere. I might even be Count Olaf. Hello, hello, hello. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.